Welcome to the Core of Success podcast. Entrepreneurship, success, health, life, big things are in your future. And now, your hosts, Sean and Mike.
Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 25 of the Core of Success podcast. Yes, sir. 25.
Love
Great.
it, man.
Quarter of the way to 100 if
now
you're
we're
counting.
25.
Yeah, that's how it goes. And well, first of all, thank you, everybody who stuck with us or joined us at any point along the way. We really appreciate that. But, like you said, Mike, we started with 1 and now we're at 25. It wasn't rocket science here. You just one foot in front of the other, right? We just do one every week and here you go. It adds up.
Yeah, pretty much. And again, it's really fantastic for everyone that's listening. We're getting some great ideas about topics that people would love us to cover and guests and things like that. So, yeah, keep the ideas coming, guys. And, whatever we can do to help you out here in the Core of Success, we're going to keep doing it, man. We're not stopping. We're going to keep going.
And if you like it or don't like it, leave us a review.
Yeah, man.
Leave us a review on there. Just hit the button and tell us what you think. It's really invaluable to us, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, got some great, Sean. Again, just a quick interject something. We got great feedback last week with Sean Darby as the guest. Incredible guest and fantastic inspirational story. So if you haven't listened to 24, man, go back and check that out, man. It really, for you and your teams, if you are in that leadership position, because I think it really shows about overcoming odds and obstacles and not giving up. So great job.
Yeah, that was
Sean
the
Darby.
biggest message to me, man. It's just not giving up. It's whatever it is. Like we said in that episode, life happens to everybody. And his case was certainly extreme, but happens to everybody. Yep. And Sean just kept getting up, kept going, man.
Yeah, he did.
Keep going. And he did. And here he is. And inspiring guy, and look forward to going down to that shop for some pudding, Mike.
Woo! Big time, man. Getting our carbs on. I was checking out the website again. The desserts look incredible. So yeah, I can't wait to go down there, man.
Yeah.
So
what I want to talk about today is some earth-breaking science, Mike. This is mind-blowing stuff, and it's it's kind of appropriate for today because I know that you, as we speak, are kind of dealing with a little bit of an illness. What's going on down there in Mount Laurel?
Yeah. Yeah, not too fun in the Ritter household the last couple of days. I won't go into too many details for our listeners' pleasure, but the Ritters got hit with the stomach virus, and I think I was the culprit, or my kids. I don't know. I can't call it, but So we've been all struggling together here, but we're persevering and just trying to feel a little bit better. I had a Quest bar this morning, so that's good.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the positive. I'll tell you though, the one positive, there is a positive side of having this thing is, man, you get pretty shredded quick.
Yeah, yeah. You look like that.
My abs are extra tight today, boy. Woo!
You look like Matthew McConaughey in Dallas Buyers Club in there.
Well, I was thinking more like Rocky or Stallone.
Oh, right. That's probably better.
But
hey, he won an Academy Award, so maybe you're doing good too.
Rocky or The Rock or somebody like that.
Yeah, no, you're not either of those.
With muscle, look, sure. But man, we're going through it, and So look, man, it's about the one thing is we talk about a lot, right? Is feeling good, and right now that's the objective, is to just feel good, man.
Yeah, and when I think when we are feeling good, you can take that for granted, and when you're not, it really brings it to light. But I know a lot of people are wondering. You and I spend a lot of time together. Like, why haven't you gotten sick, Sean? And we were together just this week, but I have the immune system of the gods here.
Yeah,
man. I am
that's right.
Rock solid, baby. So, but I'm glad you're on the upswing. But I will tell you, just like our buddy Sean Darby, who, life happens to us all, as we said, you got this sickness here, you and your family and all that. But yesterday, you weren't just lying around in bed. You were at it, man. You're working. And I think you might have had your best sales day in quite some time. So maybe you should get this more often.
Yeah, right. You never know. Well, that was the beauty of it. I tell you, if anything, it makes you feel better is when you're closing deals when you're laying in bed, man. So,
hey, man,
look,
you're a business owner. You don't have time. You
that's
can't
right.
just take the day off. You know, you
No,
gotta you keep going. And but a lot of people would take that opportunity to, oh, let me just lay back. And again, I'm not saying that when you're sick you shouldn't rest and do all those things, but it's just a different mentality, right? It's like, hey, man, okay, sick, but what can I do, right? What can I do? Yeah, you
and
didn't
look,
come into the office. We appreciate that, but you kept going,
yeah,
and there's a
no,
lesson there.
I don't want to spread the love that way for sure. I figured from a distance would be better. And look, at the end of the day, as a business owner, you do what you got to do, and really comes down to loving what you do. I still just really love what I do. So for me to lay there and not do that, it was terrible. So yeah, I do something, man.
Well, listen, as we move into today's podcast, if you need a pause for
Yes,
whatever you got going,
I may.
just say the magic word. I don't know what it is. We'll have a code word.
If I exit, you guys will know why for sure.
Code Brown. Code Brown.
Yeah,
Let me know.
yeah.
He's leaving. So what I want to talk to you about today, Mike, I said I got some earth-breaking science here. I was reading an article. It's about a survey. It's put out by Club Industry magazine, one of the premier sources in our industry, health.
Yeah, for sure.
And what they were talking about was why people, consumers in general, either go to an exercise facility or they decide to exercise at home. So why do people really do this? And I'm like, okay, here's a new study we got coming out. We're going to get some earth-breaking science and going to give us some great insights as how we can help change more lives from the core, right? So I'm excited.
Yeah.
So click on the link. I get to the page. And I'm just going to give you the punchline here because you're ready. I want everybody to sit down, get your pencils out, write this down.
Heavy note taking. Here we go.
Heavy note taking. The study said at the end of the day, people exercise for two reasons. They want to look good and they want to feel good. Woo! Oh, I'm out of breath just saying that, man. That is something.
Yeah. Look good and feel good. I never would have thought of that.
And feel good. Yeah, we never would have thought of that. And I'm glad that there are people out there actually spending time, money, resources to do studies like this because this is important stuff.
Yes. That sounds like some of my college papers right there.
Right.
Go through.
Why do you eat? Because I don't want to be hungry. Oh, good. A+. Right.
Yes.
So people want to look good and feel good, Mike. Who would have thunk it? But
never would have.
The crazy thing is, as simple as that is, that we as an industry tend to miss it. So let's talk about for a second, why else would someone work out? If you said to someone, why are you working out? And you didn't get one of those answers, what else might we hear?
I think besides those two obvious elements there, I think sometimes we would think it's the, camaraderie and, being in a group atmosphere, right?
Okay, camaraderie and group. So socialization, right?
Social, for sure.
All right. What else?
I think could be learning new stuff, right?
Okay.
Learning some new things.
Learning. So kind of constant improvement, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. I like that. Yeah.
Value, sure. Learning. Yep. I think it could be a direct, although it kind of relates to feel better, but a direct health issue. Like if your doctor says, look, man, if you don't lose like 25 pounds, you're going to have to go on these meds for diabetes. You're a type 2 diabetic candidate here.
So weight loss
and
disease prevention / management, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So some other ones, maybe they want more stamina, right? More energy.
Sure. Energy, right?
Something. Strength. They want to feel a little bit stronger. I'm not as strong as I used to be. I got to start working out. So I think those are all flexibility, another good one.
They also could tell their friends at parties, like, I go to the gym.
Okay, so bragging like you like to do, right? So all of those things, right? If we take a look at those, you said socialization. Could that fall under look good, feel good? Sure. You want to feel good, right? You want to feel good. You're socializing around other people. You're not stuck in a hole in your house, right?
Right.
You want constant improvement. That makes you feel good, right? We've talked about that many times. One of the secrets to a happy and successful life is growth, right? And that's there. So you're feeling good. Weight loss, you're looking good and you're feeling good. Stamina, flexibility, right? When I'm flexible, I'm feeling good, right?
Right.
When I have more stamina, more energy, I'm going up that flight of stairs, I'm not winded, I feel good, right? So all those things. So if you really think about all the reasons why people may say that they work out, it really does boil in my opinion, to those two categories. They want to look good and they want to feel good.
Big time, you know, and it's the thing is the more energy throughout the day and all that stuff. But when people come to the gym, that's it, right? And you see, I see folks every morning, as you do, working out. Well, not today. I actually missed today, I have to admit, because, you know, my thing there. But when I do go to the gym every morning, you know, you see that and you see folks like, yeah, man, you're waking up for a reason here, right? You're coming in here for a reason. Yeah, you're dedicated to habits. We're going to talk a little bit later. But at the end of the day, man, it's you want to start your day, man. You want to feel good. You want to conquer and dominate your day. That's part of feeling good, right? Not just and that looking good is a nice side effect of that, I think.
Yeah,
you know, for sure.
So that all these things that you're speaking about here fall into those categories. And it is pretty obvious, right, when you say it. But as obvious as it is, I believe that fitness facilities, coaches, trainers, so on, we miss this point. And let me give you some data before you weigh in on that point.
Okay.
80% of adults still don't get enough physical activity.
Crazy, man.
Right? 80%.
Damn.
And I would venture to say that the 20% that have isolated these things. They want to look good and feel good. But I would also venture to say that the 80% also want those same things. Right? So if you think about that for a second, there's 80% of the population that we as fitness professionals could be tapping into. They want these two basic things. So where are we missing it?
You know, I think at the end of the day, man, we're just making it. Well, we know we talked about before is gyms can be intimidating. I think we're just making it too complicated for many folks, you know. Right away when they come in, you know, they're overwhelmed a little bit when they come in, or not a little bit, a lot. Because when you talk to everyone knows, like, you know, like when we're on the road meeting people and everything, and we say we're from the abs company, what do people do? Oh, I got to start working my abs. Don't look at me. Oh, I know I got to work out. I know people, everyone knows they should be exercising. It's ingrained in us. We know it. But like you said, why don't you do it then? You know, and there's a lot of factors, a lot of barriers, but I think the number one barrier, and I talk to people a lot about this, even people, my neighbors, I don't go to the gym. Why? I don't know what to do. Basically, they're intimidated. They don't necessarily come out and say it, but they're intimidated because they feel they're going to have a bad experience. They're going to walk in. They're not going to know what to do. People are going to be looking at them funny because they're not an expert yet, right? And you have these feelings where, look, man, I'm just not going to fit in, so I'm just not going to go.
Yeah, so think about what you're saying there. You're saying that
man.
people are, and I agree with you, by the way, we overcomplicate exercise.
Big time.
People feel overwhelmed, right? They feel intimidated, they feel scared, and they feel like they're not going to fit in, right? So those four things, you tell me, Mike, because you're a smart fellow.
Yes.
Tell me which one of those four feelings equates to feel good.
Well, shit, all of them, right? So
no, none of them.
Well, hold on. Go ahead.
None of them. Wait, hold on. Now wait a minute. Now I know you're a little blood sugar low, a little dehydrated. Let's start this again.
Say it again.
You said that people don't exercise because they feel overwhelmed, intimidated, scared, and they won't fit in. You started the show by saying that people want to feel good. If you're feeling overwhelmed, intimidated, scared, like you don't fit in, do you feel good?
Hell no.
No. Good. Glad you're back on the reservation. Good. So and I believe you're exactly right, right? These are exactly the feelings that keep people away from exercise, that keep people away from health clubs, or even if they do join it, it forces them to quit. So if you're feeling that way, and we know that the overarching motivation for why you started is you want to feel good, it's really not a surprise that people quit or never start in the first place.
Yeah, because already they feel it's stacked against them. because maybe they had a bad experience in another gym, or they see the images of people working out and these people are buff, they're in great shape, you know, they look like you, Sean, they're training at, you know, they think, oh shit, there's no way I'm going to be able to fit in with these people. Not knowing that when you go to a gym, man, when you see people, and it's great, you see every walk of life, every shape and size. And, you know, once you're there and you're ingrained in it, man, you just, I don't know, you just see everybody. But it's just getting to that point to where I think you're brave enough, I'll say, to walk in, open that door and go in. Then it's you know, it's a done deal for the most part, right? Until you get in, and if you don't have a good experience, well, then everything is like, yeah, you know what? Everything that I told myself, it actually is true, and I don't fit in here. I don't know what to do. People are looking at me, so all those same feelings come back, and then you leave and never come back again.
Yeah.
So
now, a lot of those things that you're talking about are internal, right? These are narratives people are telling themselves. But we as fitness professionals have a chance to change the narrative. So if someone does work up the courage to actually walk into a facility to hopefully start to look better and feel better, facilities often set them up to fail. And we've seen this time and time and time again. And again, the research shows us that over 50% of people that start an exercise program will stop within the first 6 months, right? That number really hasn't changed. It has not improved. So facilities oftentimes are setting people up to fail. And how do you think they're doing that? In your experience, I know you're in clubs all over the world. You're seeing it. What have you seen that clubs are doing?
Well, I think the very first thing is when you walk in, if somebody doesn't feel welcome or part of a family or part of a club. I mean, really basic stuff here, guys, but it's the truth. If it's like going to a restaurant, when you feel special, when you feel welcome, man, that's your place. Like, I feel good. When you walk into your health club, it should be the same way because you're part of a club, right? So that's the very first part, that person at the front desk greeting that person. Hey, good morning. Great to see you. Thanks for whatever it is. Know that person by name or you greet them, icon, all that kind of stuff that it's constantly we talk about, but is not being done first and foremost, because that will set the tone for the visit that day. I really believe it. If they have a shitty experience when they walk in, man, that's just going to snowball from there. Really, it's going to be hard to get that person back to feeling good at that point.
You know, I am not sick, as we mentioned, so I was at the gym this morning, you know. And when I get there, there's, you know, the doors open like precisely at 5, right? So there's always a line a few minutes before 5 waiting to get in. So there's this like line getting up to the front desk where you scan in. And, you know, naturally 5 a.m., people are like, they're not moving with the most pep in their step, let's say, right? They were kind of dragging, getting up to the line. But this morning, the woman standing up there, and she's great. She's there almost every morning who's checking people in. Good morning. Happy Valentine's Day. Good morning. And you just saw it immediately. People like, they stepped up a little bit. I stood up a little straighter, got some energy. So you're right. She made us feel welcome. And we've all had the experience where you go in and they don't even look at you. Oh, scan yourself in, right? I'm over here doing whatever I'm doing. You take care of yourself. And you mentioned a key word before. You said it's a club, right? In a club, we belong. And so I think you're right. That simple thing, like treating everybody like they're a regular, right? Treating them as if you are happy to see them because you darn well better be, is going to take that first step and making them feel good, right? They're making them feel welcome as they walk into the club. What about the prescriptions that we're giving people, right? We have all these educated and oftentimes zealous trainers and fitness professionals, and someone comes in and they start to talk to them about what it takes to get in shape. So where do you think we're going wrong there?
Well, I think we're just, again, overcomplicating matters big time. You know, when someone comes in and they're starting to take that first step, and I'm talking about a beginner, those 80% that we desperately need to come into our gyms, not just from a business standpoint, but obviously from a health standpoint, right? People come in, they haven't worked out in a really long time, or maybe they never worked out. They come right in the first time. You're telling them they need to come in 6 days a week. They need to change everything about they eat. They need to work out 2 hours a day, you know, all these things. And it's like, whoa, you know, it's like, holy shit, man. Like, I have a family, I have a job, and I still have a life. Like, I didn't know this was gonna be. I was gonna be a full-time bodybuilder or something like that, you know. And I think right away it goes back to concretes that stereotype where, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I don't have time. I can't make this lifestyle change like this, and just really overwhelm somebody right from the jump. You got to do all these different programs. People are like, yeah, I'm good. Thanks anyway. And they walk out, you know. So I think we overcomplicate things big time.
Yeah, and and again, you're giving people, the trainers and the fitness professionals are giving people facts, right?
Yeah.
But they're facts that they're not necessarily ready for yet, and they're not telling them that these are things you work into. You know, other studies have shown that nearly half of Americans believe you need to work out for 95 minutes in order to have a good workout. 95 minutes.
That's nuts.
Crazy. And they also believe that you have to work out at least 5 times a week in order to get in shape. So this is the perception of the population. There's no surprise that, holy cow, it's amazing that any of the 80% look at those, have those feelings, and actually say, you know what, I am going to start anyway. But then they get there and they hear all this crazy stuff that they have to be doing. Like you said, change your diet, be here every day, an hour of this, and you're going to throw things against the wall and do handstands and all this other stuff that they're seeing. People are scared, right? And again, as soon as they are scared, which they were to begin with, and now you've made them more scared, there's no way that person is feeling good, right? So again, they train because they want to look good, feel good. So you're doing all that, they're not feeling good, they're leaving.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, you have enough. You don't want the gym or the health club to be a stressor for you, right?
Right.
Especially just the opposite. You don't want it to be, you know, you have enough stress with your family, your job, your career, you know, you're owning a business. You want this to be that part of your day, number one, that you really enjoy, that's going to provide you that energy, that's going to propel you to do big things, not be the, you know, the sole focus of your life, and not really like be more of a stressor than a help. You know, I think a lot of times that can really do that, you know, and again, overcomplicating things when people walk in. Do you make it easy and we know that most folks don't have a personal trainer, right? Yep. So it's like, okay, you don't have a trainer. What do? Do you make it easy in the club to navigate around if you're not working out with somebody? Do you make it simple for them to follow a program? That's another really key component for sure.
It's a huge component because oftentimes, again, the zealous trainer who has all this knowledge and skills wants to show people things that maybe they're not ready for yet. And people, you know, clubs now have all these beautiful areas with the turf and the functional training. All that stuff is wonderful. But again, that beginner, they just want to get on that treadmill and hit start, right? Yes. That is where they're going to start to win. And, you know, we talked about one of the big things we're working on is creating zones within the clubs where you can go in. You know, for 20 years, we have been creating super innovative and super intuitive products to train your abs. We know that it's an area that people feel that if they can accomplish will help them look 100%. Good. And the products are so intuitive that they can get on, they're going to feel good because they got to win versus some of the more functional moves that they can grow into.
Yeah, agree. They feel they look when you go in and you are accomplishing what you want. Hey, I'm working out. I actually feel my abs. Awesome. Yep. That's great. I'm doing what I came to do. The gym. I feel good. Woo. That's great. And I don't, you know, I know what to do. It's right there for me. I can follow along. Really, really easy to follow. I feel good, looking good. Win-win. I'm coming back tomorrow.
And that's it. And look, you and I we're fitness professionals, you know, we're educated, we have our degrees, we've been in this game a long time. We are not suggesting in any way that you do our ab zone and you become the most fit person in the world. What we are saying is there's a mental aspect to that. One, there is a physical benefit. You're training your core, always very important. But there's a mental aspect to what you just said. They won and they're going to feel good and come back tomorrow. And that's, I believe, where we miss it. We overcomplicate, we over-intimidate the already intimidated. There's no way that people are going to stick with this stuff. You know, this past week we were in, or is it this week? Geez, I'm losing track of time. This week we were in Charlotte, North Carolina, and we visited the new site of our friends at Fitness Connection right there in Charlotte. And remember when we were looking at the cardio pieces there? We were looking at the consoles on the cardio that they put in. And consoles range from the most simple to things where it'll like basically do your workout for you, right? You can get crazy with all the tech.
Yeah.
What did we see on the consoles that they chose in their club?
Yeah, they were really, really complicated. They had start and stop.
Yes, and they had big buttons, red and green.
Yes,
Now,
yes.
people walking up
Start and
there,
stop. Even I could figure that out.
even
Like,
you,
man.
well, once we showed you, yeah, you got
Yeah.
it. But
Green, go. Red, stop.
yes, and
Yeah.
that was it, man. That's a
No,
facility. That is a chain that gets it. They're
Yeah,
promoting
man.
that $10 membership, no agreements, all that stuff. Everything's included to welcome you into the club, to take down
Beautiful,
those
beautiful.
barriers. But a lot of facilities do that. And then when you get in, you're looking at the equipment selection and it's intimidating all over again, right? So, okay, you got me on the price initially, but now I don't know what the heck to do. In this facility, you walked in and you were able to just very intuitively do your exercise. Now, don't get me wrong. They had something for the super advanced there too. But
Sure.
in what we're talking about today, that 80% could easily go to a fitness connection and feel welcome right away.
100%. And they also, as you noticed, they had these different zones there in different areas, right? Yep. So you could win in this area. It's separated. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing too. When I go in and I see a gym, and again, going back to abs, right? We know it, when everyone walks in the front door, what do they typically do? Oh, what do you want to do today, John? Oh, what's your goal? Why'd you walk in? Well, I want to lose, 15 pounds, whatever. And they hit their stomach, right? It's what great. How awesome would it be? How great would they feel when you walk over and you show them this beautiful abs area that you have, easy to follow? You're going to feel good. It's going to take a lot of that barrier down. They're just going to, okay, cool. I can do this,
Right, I can do
as
it.
opposed to, and look, I love the open turf and we are in that functional space as well. But as opposed to just having open space and say, good, have at it. They're like, okay, so what the hell do I do there? Like I see people doing stuff on the floor and on the turf, but I don't know how to do that stuff.
Right. If that's exercise, that's not for me.
Yeah,
right?
It's like, okay, so let me go back to what I know. And then they get, they just lose. So you need to have places in your gym, in the club, where people can win and be successful. Yeah, we recommend, working with a trainer, working with a professional. But the fact of the matter is over 90% of folks that come into the health clubs do not use a trainer, right? In most of the gyms here in the States, at least, right? So for you to bank your layout of your gym, well, our members are going to use a trainer. Yeah, okay. But the 90% that aren't, how are they going to win? Because they're the ones that are keeping the lights on.
Yeah, and the ones that are not, that 90%, if you can keep them coming, you get more chances to get them to become one of the 10%, right?
Yeah.
And people forget that. You're trying to get them right away into that type of system. But the reality is that, the statistics show that in most clubs, that's not the case. So you have to keep them going. But you mentioned the layout, it's very interesting too. Back at Fitness Connection, we specifically spoke to them about this. And where did they put the abs area in their clubs?
It was right in the front.
Right in the front, right?
Yeah.
And as you moved through the facility, where were all the free weights where people like you like to train?
Yeah, man. Look, the free weights, the racks and all this, the power racks and stuff were in the back, man.
In the back, right? So that the folks that are maybe newer or a little bit intimidated, they don't even have to see that stuff if they don't want to. There's enough for them in the front of the facility. There's enough to make them feel welcome. A massive front desk where they were welcomed and where they were wished a good day on the way out. I mean, it was just a beautiful example of how the health club owners are starting to think about this. It's not just a place for the fit to get fitter. It's a place where we really need to welcome everybody and give them the tools and the resources to win.
And here's the thing. I don't think that the other thing too that I really want to point out is we're not saying that, you can't have the best of both worlds. Like for an example, clubs are really trying to increase their PT revenue. Totally get it. And we're all about that too, right? Because we believe when you're working out with a trainer, you're going to get better results, better system, get results, come back, blah, blah, blah. And we absolutely, with our equipment and just in general, I'm 100% behind, working with a trainer or working with in a group, small group training, et cetera. But these are not separate things, meaning that when I talk to folks, well, we don't want to have just a specific abs area because we're really trying to promote our personal training. We want our members to sign up with a personal trainer. So therefore, we're going to make it really hard for them to work out unless they have a personal trainer. That's a wrong mindset, dude.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Again, the majority of people are not going to use a trainer. Even in the best of clubs, the majority of people are going to be walking around on their own, right? Or following a buddy, and they're going to leave. So you can have the best of both worlds. Having great, easy to learn, easy to use zones is not going to take away from your PT. In fact, it's just going to really help your PT because you're going to have more members there where you can make a friend and you'll have a bigger number for you to reach, so.
Yeah, and it gives your trainers another tool too,
Absolutely.
because there's not many people, if you went out into the public and asked them, is
Yep.
working with a personal trainer hard or easy? It's not many people that are going to say that's easy, right? And the average perception is that personal trainer is going to push you to places you've never been. And in some cases, that's good, right? We all need a little bit of push. We need a motivation. We need that coach. But the perception is it's going to be, again, something that I can't do. Group training, my immediate vision of group training is people on the turf, throwing medicine balls, doing burpees and all that. Cool, me and you like that. But the average new person coming in, there's no way they're going to get excited by that. So what if the group training was in an ab zone, right? In a functional zone where it was non-intimidating movements? Oh, now that's a group that I can get involved in, right? You go into the group cycling classes. Does the music need to be so loud that you can hear it 3 counties away? Or could we have some more beginner classes on the schedules that are going to entice people to get in and get used to this sort of thing, right? We all want to show our best foot, but in doing that, we're often scaring away the people that will grow the business.
And hey, too, the #1 operator in the world, the #1 for PT revenue.
Wait a minute.
Wait a
minute. We could not get to episode 25 without a mention. Go ahead and say it. Go ahead.
I had to say it. World Gym Taiwan. Look, I want to say it because it's real. This is the #1 PT operator in the world.
Yep.
He has zones in his club for his members to win.
Yep.
He's the #1 operator in PT in the world, and he has these zones. Again, he's not saying, well, that's it. So he understands the fact, obviously, where people need to win. They need to stack these wins. And he's the #1 guy. So if he's doing it and winning these incredible numbers, you have to do that. You have to make it non-intimidating, have those barriers easy to follow. People will win. They'll come back. Your numbers will go up.
Yeah, and he's building programs, like we said, around these zones in the club, right? Oh, so you're interested in the ab and core training, Mike? That's wonderful. We have a program just for you. Boom, here it is. Oh, you're interested in you're training for a race and a marathon or whatever it is. We have a program just for you, and he has that. And it's all that. It's laying out that roadmap for people in a way that's structured, that they don't feel intimidated, and once again, they feel good. They're winning. But I think a lot of it also comes down to habits and mindset, which we talk about on the podcast all the time. So when we think about this principle of looking good and feeling good, where would you say mindset and habit tie into those two things?
Well, I think the mindset, is really the attitude, right? That you can do it. I can do it. I can, we talk about before, negotiate with yourself, right? Don't negotiate with yourself. You say you're going to go to the gym, you do it, you go for it. You're going to feel better because you stuck to what you're doing, right? So I think a lot of that with the mindset is your attitude, right? So, and for the clubs, are you providing that atmosphere where the members can win? So that's where I see that for the mindset part of it, for sure.
Yeah. And, the other thing I would say for people that are listening that struggle in this area, the mindset has to be a mindset of acceptance. People have to accept where they are right now and be okay with that, right? It's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way.
Yeah,
it's the day. Oh, thanks a lot. Thanks for your time. Valentine's Day is a day of love, Mike, and people need to love themselves without getting corny about it. People cannot look at themselves and say, hey, look at me and look at what I'm seeing on social media. That's not me. That'll never be me. That is a mindset that sets people up to fail. And a lot of them won't start to begin with. Now it motivates some. I get it, right? I'm going to be that. And they go out and get it. But that's not the norm, right? People often have this mindset when they look at themselves. I don't look good. Well, compared to what, right? Compared to those other people that are out there that you're seeing, maybe that's not your genetics. Maybe that's not realistic for you. And I'm not saying don't strive for that. Don't look for that improvement, but get your mind right and say, you know what? This is who I am today. This is where I am. Now, how can we improve from there, as opposed to, wow, I am so far from that, I'm never going to get there, because that mindset will never leave somebody feeling good. And again, back to the top, that is why people start and remain exercises, because they want to feel good, right? And as they start to improve and they start to look good, they're going to feel good, right? So you have to eliminate that negative self-talk in there. And the other thing I would say about that is we need to look good in our eyes, right? When you look in that mirror, look good, man. Tell yourself, here's where I am, let me accept this and let me move forward from here. I think it's a super powerful thing that people miss, because nowadays people are just putting themselves down because of unrealistic things that they're seeing out there in the world.
Yeah, for sure. Small wins. I think it is sad, man, that 80% of folks, despite having here in the US more fitness centers, studios, boutiques open and every day, and more fitness centers than ever, right? That we still are missing the boat, man, with 80% of these people not feeling at their best. And that's sad, man, because we know, I guarantee all those people that lined up to go in the gym at 5 a.m. Yeah, they were a little tired at first, obviously. I mean, who the hell wants to wake up at 4:30 and go to the gym? No one. But you do it, right? Because the feeling afterwards too, right? How you feeling afterwards? And anyone that you ever talk to when they're going to the gym, when they're working out, when they're exercising on a daily, and they create these habits where they're doing it on a daily basis or 3 times a week even, no one's ever said it wasn't worth it.
No, yeah, you poll those people at 5 a.m. scanning in and at 6 a.m. scanning out. You're going to get a very different story, right?
Big
You're
time.
absolutely right. Nobody ever regretted a workout.
This is definitely not worth it. You've been to some games before. We've been to some events. It was okay. No one's ever said, man, it's just not worth it.
Yep. So let's talk about the habits real quick that are going to lead people to look good and feel good. And again, this isn't earth shattering. This is stuff we've spoken about before, but we're believers in saying the same things again and again and again, because that's what people need to hear. So what are some habits that people need to start right now that are going to lead them to looking good and feeling good?
Well, I think number one, like you said, it'd just be, right now, look in the mirror and really love who you are right now, and know, like, look, I can make improvements if that's what you want to do, and I can do better. But I'd say with regard to the gym, if you even start off, say, look, I'm going to go once this week.
Yep.
I'm going to go one time this week.
Yep.
That's it.
And you say that and you do what?
You feel great.
No, you say it. I'm going to go once this week. And what do?
And you do it.
You fucking go once this week, right?
Yeah, right.
Like you said, don't negotiate with yourself. You say it, you do it, right?
Yeah.
Going to start to feel good. Wow, when I say something, I do it, right? So absolutely. You got to start, and you got to set that standard for yourself and do it. Great. Yeah. What else?
And when you go to the gym, maybe you're gonna try something different. You're gonna try something new. Stick to the routine. But I think when you go once a week and say that's your goal, and you do that, you're going to have that confidence. You're going to feel great. So maybe the next time, maybe it'll be twice a week. And then you're going to try some different thing. Like you're in the ab zone, you're going to do the ab zone. And then maybe you'll try, because you got that, right? You feel good. Okay, now I feel good. Like I can do something else. So now I'm going to try something else. That looks pretty cool. Let me go ahead and try that, because you have that confidence. You're not intimidated to do something different in the gym. So I think that's another great thing, is you try something. Go once a week.
Try one new machine this week, right? I'm going to try one new thing. Yep. Again, we talk about all the time, stacking these wins. Let's go back for a second to where we felt that the industry was missing it. The average person believes you have to work out at least 5 times a week for 95 minutes a day, right? Recipe for failure all day long. Then they come in, they're showing all these things they're just not ready for. Recipe for failure again. But if people learn, like you said, you know what? I'm a total beginner, haven't trained ever or in a long time. I'm going to go once this week. And people, I know the fitness pros are once a week's not going to do anything. Bold dookie.
Yeah.
Once a week starts to form a mindset, right? That, okay, I committed to something, I did it. And here's what we know, Mike. Success begets more success. Right. I went once this week. I feel pretty good. I wonder how 2 is going to feel. And then they start to go to 2. And eventually, before they know it, they're up to the 3 times a week. They're up to the 20 minutes a day. Whatever that goal is for themselves, let's just start to create those small habits. Don't negotiate, stack the wins. The success will come. It's just not rocket science, Mike.
Yeah, no, exactly. And again, once you start going, and this is great too, I think, as for the gym owners out there that are listening and people that are in the business is really think about that for a moment. If you're telling somebody right from the beginning that they have to come 5 days a week, that they got to change their entire life, no wonder you're not hitting your numbers. No wonder you're not hitting your goals, because it's too much. Keep it really, really simple. Hey, man, once a week, great. And when they're there, make them feel like gold, man. Make them feel like they were there. You know, they're the number one. They've been there 7 days a week, not just once. Oh, awesome, man. That's the best, because that's the member that will really, and because they're going to tell more and more people, right? When they come in, they're going to say, hey, I did it, man. I went once a week. Oh, awesome. Because they're going to tell all those other people that are thinking like, yeah, you went to the gym. Yeah, right. No, I really did. Oh, shit. Okay. So
not just a thing on my keychain. I actually go.
That's right.
I'll give you another data point around that, you know, without naming names. One of our customers is very data driven. Like a lot of people are becoming more and more data driven nowadays. They found that members who showed up once a week, right, just 4 times a month, remained a member an average of 50% longer.
Wow.
That's incredible, right?
Wow.
Just once a week, they remain a member, maintain their membership 50% longer. That is a huge win, not only for the member who's actually committing and improving themselves, improving their lifestyle, but for the business, because now this member is there 50% longer. And that is so many more bites at the apple to get them into a personal training program, a group training program, to spend ancillary non-dues dollars while they're there. Just get them to show up. Stop telling people you got to come 3-5 times a week. It's ridiculous. Look, you got somebody like me or you walking in and we're seasoned exercisers. Wonderful. You don't have to tell us anything, but to drop that stat on me, cool. That doesn't intimidate me, right? But that beginner, which the majority of the new people coming in are, you got to set that realistic aspect for them. And people are like, oh, once a week, it's not going to do anything. It is, man. It's going to change their life. So start there.
Yeah, I think too, you know, we're fighting, and as far as from the health club perspective, that when we're in the clubs all the time, everybody's fighting over that 20%. And
yeah, recycling them. Yep.
You're fighting over that 20%. There's a new gym that's opening up down the street, right? We talk about all the time. How are you going to stand out? How are you going to be different, right? It's creating these zones that are non-intimidating, where people can win, where they're going to feel good, where they're going to then look good, right? But it's all about that. It's that, you know, it's that 80% that we really have to get to and tap into, man.
Well, think about, you know, I know you guys use, and the sales team use that standing out a lot. And we talk about it from terms of equipment and packages and zones and all those things. But imagine an intimidated health club consumer walks into 2 clubs. One gives him the party line, 3 times a week, 20 minutes a day, cut out the carbs, all that stuff, right? Yeah. The other one says, you know what, John, it'd be great if we strive for, in your first month, we'd like you to come once a week for this. That's it. We want you to be here for about 20 minutes. We're going to give you a couple simple exercises in one of our zones to do. Talk about standing out. Hey, which one do you think this intimidated member is going to feel more comfortable in? The guy that told him he has to totally uproot his life? The one said, you know what, just add this in slowly and we're going to get there. He totally stood out. Your chances of success of getting them to become a member of your club skyrocketed.
Yeah. I mean, again, make it simple.
Keep it simple.
Keep it right for the people where, look, again, everyone knows they should be exercising. Everyone knows they should be working out.
Yep.
And it's like getting shit. We have people that we work with that we know very well. It's like, yeah, I got to get to the gym. Yeah, just go and just do it. But yeah, if you tell them once a week, make it really simple, it's gonna you're gonna see like the relief in their oh man, that's great. I can do it, because now it's something they can swallow. They can do this, and they're gonna, and look, once they come once a week and they start feeling good and they stick to that, they're absolutely going to be coming 2-3 times a week.
Yeah, they lose a couple pounds, they're starting to look better, you know, their clothes are fitting better. Again, look good, feel good.
Get addicted. Look, it's easy for us to talk about, and a lot of the folks I'm sure listen to the podcast, I'm sure exercises, but many are not. When you get this feeling, man, like it's like me not even feeling well, like I can't wait to get back to the gym.
Yep.
It's like, but because you need it, you want that. But yeah, you got to start once a week. Yeah, that would be my approach. You know, obviously, I think that would be my approach for sure.
Well, let me shift gears for you here as we start to wind this down. This principle of looking good and feeling good obviously doesn't just apply to working out and exercise. That is our business, so we talk about it a lot. It applies to several areas of your life, but I think it can be a key leadership principle as well. That with our teams, if we can make our teams look good and make our teams feel good, that they will increase their performance. What do you think about that?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. You give, you have, like, we talk about the big three, right? You have three key items, three key components of your job. You don't have 30 things. You have three. These are three things that you need to work on. That this is part of your daily job. These are your responsibilities. This is how you're going to win, right? You keep it very simple. It's palpable. It's easy to digest. That's it, right? So that's the part of the once a week. Keep it very simple. This is what you do, man. This is how you win right here. And then
yes, you're giving them a system, right, that they can follow and feel comfortable about. That's going to leave them feeling good. So that's definitely a leadership principle.
Yeah, for
We
sure.
talk about interactions, right? With every interaction that we have with our teams or within the teams, right? Or across the teams, sales with ops with marketing, so on and so forth. Every human interaction, you have the choice. You have the ability to leave someone feeling good or feeling not good. And if you put a little bit of thought into that before you have the interaction, say, you know what, when I leave this interaction, I'm going to make sure this person feels good. What happens to performance? It's going to go up, right? Because people that are feeling good naturally are going to perform better. Now, as you know, Mike, I am not a proponent of bullshit. I will always keep it real with people, but we will spread out the reality. Just like I said before with the physical, you look in the mirror and say, here's where I am today. That's the reality. But here's where we can go by following these simple steps. You leave them on that high note. Here are the things that you are doing very well, but here's the things where if we improve these, we can get to that next level. That leaves people feeling good when you go in, as opposed to just walking in, putting your thumb on people. You're not doing this right. Why aren't you getting this done? Or within the teams, walking in, hey, I need this, me. That doesn't leave anybody feeling good, and therefore performance will suffer. So look good, feel good is a massive leadership principle.
Yeah, I mean, it's in work, in life, and everything, right? For sure. Look good and feel good. Yeah, that's a great thing you said as far as your interactions with others, within your own team, with other teams as well. How do you, when someone goes home at night, how do they feel?
Yeah.
Do they feel, even if you didn't sell anything, like in sales, as you know, man, you're getting kicked in the teeth a lot.
Yep.
Right? You're getting people hanging up on you, never call me again, man, never call. And then here I'm telling you, call them again.
You're right. I'll call him.
He hung up. Call him again.
Right.
Like, what? You just hung up on me. That's the thing is, look, thick skin and all that stuff. But as a leader, you have to be able to get your team to feel motivated, know the why. Well, why are you calling this guy? Because guess what? If he doesn't have our equipment in his gym, he's not going to help his members win. Therefore, they're never going to look good. They're not going to feel good if he doesn't have our equipment. That's our why, right? That's why we're calling. We're changing lives from the core. If he doesn't have our stuff, if you don't call him, he won't get our stuff, blah, blah, blah. So that's where you kind of have everybody, when they go home at night too, is say, look, man, yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm ready to go tomorrow. Okay, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. So,
I think that's a great point, because just like when they're leaving their workout, right?
Yeah.
Leaving your workout, how do I feel, right? Remember our 5 a.m., 6 a.m.,
man.
right? 5 a.m., not so great. 6 a.m., feeling pretty good. When they leave the end of their day, if they're feeling pretty good about it, and again, sometimes, it's a rough day. Got it. It's going to happen, right? Life happens to us all. But if they leave in general feeling pretty good, they're going to be fired up to come back tomorrow, just like at the gym. So I think that's fantastic. But when it comes to looking good, right, making our teams look good, I think a key thing that leaders often miss is recognition, right? I believe that recognition is one of the highest forms of gratitude. And we here at the Abs Company, we lead with gratitude. Every interaction has to be led with gratitude. When you're pointing out the great things that somebody did, that is an extreme example of gratitude, an extreme profession of gratitude towards somebody. And by doing that, you're making them look good in the eyes of the rest of their team. And we cannot do it enough.
No, for sure. Look, when we have our meetings, you point out the successes that somebody did, big and small, not just the big sales that somebody get. That's kind of obvious, right?
Yep.
the other stuff that we have, we like the program you initiated with the inspiration from your brother Joe about Own the Mission program, which are things above and beyond. And again, it's not just, hey, you made a big sale or you did something that it's things that are helping move the needle, but it's really owning that mission. And it could be simple, real simple stuff, just helping out a coworker, these different things that you can do, but man, it goes such a long way.
Yeah. And it's, when you look at that Own the Mission program, and we'll talk about that on another episode, when you look at our Own the Mission program, every month the nominations come in, it's peer-to-peer, right? So they, just for those listening, the team members recognize each other for a task. It's never, oh, Joey made a big sale or Johnny finished this project. That's their job, right? But it's always those little things above and beyond what it is that comes as a part of their job that, wow, they did that and somebody saw it, right? Somebody recognized it. It leaves people feeling on top of the world. So you as a leader have the opportunity every single day to make your team look good and feel good. And just like with exercise, if you do that, performance will skyrocket. If you do that in the health club area, your members' health will skyrocket. So the principle just repeats itself. It's timeless, it's simple, and it just takes a little bit of thought, Mike. It's not earth-shattering. It's not rocket science. But how can we make our members look good, feel good? How can we understand that this is what they want and tailor programs for them? And then we as leaders, how can we do that with our teams? Because if we put that little bit of thought into it, I think the results are going to speak for themselves.
Yeah, I love what you said too about leave the workout. Like you said, you feel motivated, pumped up, leave your job same way, and vice versa. There's some people that can go to work and they leave work and they feel great. And there's some people that, gym, those two things, man, if you really make it very simple like that, when you leave the gym, you feel super pumped up. You're ready to take on the world, dominate. Same thing when you leave work. Let's make sure our people, when they leave for the day, they feel good. They're ready to come back. They're ready to succeed. They're ready to win the next day.
And we as leaders have that power. So we need to exercise it. Well, Mike, this was a good exercise, a good episode. Loved kicking it around with you.
Yeah, man.
As I said, some earth-shattering science, but if you really put some thought into it, it really makes sense and it is super powerful. So to everybody out there listening, we wish you a very happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, don't forget, Val, there's still a few hours. Don't forget.
Several hours. We hope that you go through your day looking good and feeling good, and do the same for everybody whose life that you touch today. Remember, until next time, guys, the core of success is you.
Big things!